everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Rise of the Wardens, set in the Dragon Age First Blight. I did just throw a dab in there. Before we go around and see all the things, please check out the opening links, including all the places you can find us, interact with us, communicate with us and our community, and get involved in all the fun if you so wish to. Just send me a DM on Twitter, we'll get you a game. It's easy. Also check out our sponsors, Bird and the Storm Publishing and Mage Hand Press. And word on the street is there might be some more sponsors on the way very soon. That's all of my things. Hi. Alice, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Oh, hi. I can't believe you stole Kent's dab.
I did.
I'm
did a...
gonna tell him that. Yeah. Yeah. Dabbing in Dragon Age is just... Yeah. Anyway, let's start and say hi to everyone as we go round. And we're going to start with the very lovely Julie. Who are you playing? And where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Julie. I go by J Graveart online, and here I play Kahal. He is a very tired, very angry warrior fellow who is an escaped slave from Deventer. So there's baggage. It's fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Such a mood. So, and then we're gonna hop down and say hi to our Deventer. Oh, hi, Avery.
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm the Tevinter. I do this. I'm Avery. I'm a Mapper Online, artist and cosplayer, and yes, I'm playing Cecilia M. Ladaris, who is our dear, sweet, in quotes, Tevinter, who, listen, she knows that people don't like her. She just wants to get her job done. She's also tired, but for like a different reason.
Perfect, thank you. And then we're going to hop around to the very lovely Madame Gandalf. Oh, hi, Alex.
Oh, hi. It's lovely to be back again. I'm Madame Gandalf. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch, and I'm here playing Ariava Surana, the arcane elven mage, who is excited to try and learn more about the world, and everything seems to be kind of new, like she's lived a bit of a bubbled and oppressed life previously before becoming a Grey Warden, and so yeah, I'm excited to see where the adventures will take her and how she will react to the world around her as she rediscovers it and remembers her past before she became not quite enslaved, but kind of enslaved, yes, ish.
Perfect.
Servitude.
Servitude.
Forced servitude.
That's one way to look at it. And last but certainly not least, the dubbing script.
Dylan Zikrian at your service. I am not French. I am Spanish. Let me work on that. Yeah.
Dragon Age.
Sorry, Antivan, of course. Yes, I am here looking. I really need to break that French accent. I'm going to need a minute. Yeah, he's just looking to turn a quick penny. You know, any way that he can turn the war into his pocket will be great. He's here for it.
Okay, perfect. Last week, our group sort of came together at Fort Wysap, which is where the Grey Wardens have started to begin as such. There aren't many. There's maybe 12 at most of these Grey Wardens, and our group also got introduced to Cecilia, this mage Tevinter that the Wardens seem okay with. They seem to like having them around, and they seem to be working very, very hard for the cause. And everyone else sort of came together up at the end and climbed up to the top to meet these other Grey Wardens. And they were told that there was a war, a battle, an army sort of building by Norbotten up to the north, and that their help and their aid was needed there. They're not too sure why yet, but their aid was needed. And we come round to when the sun is just coming up, and you were told that you were to wake at dawn, and you knew that these Grey Wardens were saddling up some of these griffins to take you and towards this this location, this battlefield, but at least approach from a distance, as the army itself had already left 2 days before. And how are you waking up? In fact, we'll start with Cecilia. Where would you be sleeping? And did you sleep?
I think she probably didn't sleep much, but I don't think she does anyway. Like, that's not new for her. That's not. I think she has like a side room off of her little like workspace office area that she sleeps in. And I think she was up a fair bit before they were meant to be up, and she was getting things ready. Anything that she was experimenting with or anything that she thinks would help is got into a bag and is neatly set out, and she's like very prepared for this because she knows her role on the battlefield, and she knows that it's not on the front lines, it's helping people who are on the front, like who have fallen on the front lines essentially. So yeah, she's got this bag with a bunch of, in addition to her own magic stuff that enhance her own magic, she's got like all these herbs and stuff that she knows that will help, and just a lot of medical supplies, getting that ready, getting her battle attire ready, which is just like a stylized mage robes, very Tevinter, as is all of her attire.
Okay.
But yeah, she's been up for a while.
Yeah, you start packing before the sun comes up, and there's that moment where the rays of the morning sunrise start to sort of pour through that window, landing exactly on your desk where you are packing all of these things up. And almost on time as this happens, you hear a knock at the door, and that very cheerful Antivan voice that you always know of Dasha just a, hello, it is I know I was supposed to come around and give a wake-up call, so I'm here. Like, and you just hear that knock again, like that clank of the gauntlet up against this wood.
No need, I'm already quite awake. Perhaps go check on the others.
Okay, we're meeting down in the courtyard.
Right.
I'll stop bothering you now. I'll see you in a moment. And you hear like those feet, those clanking metal feet start walking further down. And the rest of you were assigned rooms, especially that they knew you would need a good night's sleep before what was coming. And so, Kahal, how did you sleep?
I think it's weird having a bed, but also it's like the fact that it is quiet and in some sort of solitude after traveling pretty much nonstop with Dylan, which was not terribly unpleasant, but also just like, wow, I'm alone, was nice. But either at some point last night or this morning, he'd be going to essentially quartermaster to just make sure that the armor that he stole was rather more ornamental than functional, so we'll upgrade that and also pick out a halberd and a bow.
Absolutely. You get the feeling that these people will give you anything to help the cause. They kit you out fully with everything you ask for, everything you require. And we'll look up those bits for you. And you hear that knock on the door as you roll over in this bed that you're not used to sleeping in, whatever this weird comfy thing is.
I slept like too well and had that moment of like, where am I? Upon waking up.
And you could see your new armor like propped up at the side with these new weapons. You guess that some of them have been delivered to you, others you could take almost right away. And you hear that voice, that ringing voice out in the air, just, hello, wakey, it's time we got to go, come on. And you hear like the knock again.
All right, I'm awake.
I'm sorry, they always send me for some reason.
You're efficient.
use it
That I
as
am. That
reflective
I
journal
am.
too.
I'm going to go and
So
wake
if
up your
anything in
friends now. Like, and you can hear them move again down this wooden, not really corridor. It's like this balcony that looks out over the courtyard, and you hear the feet move away. And then they quickly come back. It's like, oh, sorry, we're just going to meet in the courtyard. I didn't actually say that bit. But yes, that's where we're going to meet. There is some food ready. Otherwise, we are leaving early. And then you hear the feet run away.
Well, I'll get myself organized and head on down. It's not like I have anything to pack.
Okay. And Ariava, how are you sleeping in this bed right now? This is a comfy bed. It's very basic, very simple in this room, but it's comfy. Yeah, like, are you like a starfish sleeper?
Oh yeah, she is a full-on like hang on. This is like a vacation, like a holiday almost. And you know how when you first see the bed, you sometimes will just like jump full on and like starfish down onto it face first. Yeah, she pretty much did that as soon as she arrived and then just stayed there. And has woken up just flopped over on the other side, but still in that like starfish position. Hair completely all wrangled around her in a complete mess. A little bit of drool, just a little bit, and enough that you wake up and you can be like, "Oh, I've been drooling. This happened tonight." So yeah, that's how she slept.
Yeah, and very soon you can feel the warmth of the sun coming through the window on your face, and it's quite a calming thing at first, and you can feel it as you just lay there, as it slowly rouses you until a huge bang at the door almost probably makes you jump out of your skin. Like, this is so loud compared to everything. It's just like, good morning, Miss Ariava. Are you awake? Can you hear me? Do you want me to come in? Hello? I think you are muted. I don't know if you're awake or not.
How did it mute? I did something anyway. I was in the middle of talking. Anyway, bugger. Memory of a fish right now. Okay. Yeah. She'll just say, what's time? Time.
It's time to get up. Rise and shine. We're going to go on some griffins. We're going to go and save the world. At least that's what they tell me.
Can we save the world later?
No. Saving the world does not wait for anyone. Come on. And then you hear like that banging on the door again.
Okay. I'm up. You know, like as the mum walks into your room to give you the last warning. Yes, I'm out of bed. I'm awake. I'm up. I've been awake this whole time. She does that rush up, but she will sleepily and clumsily get herself like dressed and stick like a sleeve in the like wrong arm and then realize that she's trying to put her dress on upside down and back to front and all of that jazz, all of these kinds of mistakes. And even still, when she finally does manage to work out the puzzle that is her own clothing, she will still have like the buttons will be like one row up too many.
I do that daily.
Yeah, that like slight miss, and probably inside out as well. Yeah, even after all those attempts, but she's there, and she ties her hair kind of scrappily back just to try and tame the mane that is gathered upon her head.
And you there's a silence for a moment, but you don't hear the feet walk or leave away. And there's a pause. It's like, just checking you still awake.
She still has like one eye closed, kind of hoping that maybe, just maybe, if she keeps one closed, the other will also have that opportunity. And she just opens the door and looks at the lady with a one-eyed smile.
And you see this almost beaming, sort of like heart-shaped oval face looking at you, a little bit taller, as this human Antivan stands there, this sort of massive blonde hair pulled up and tied into it. It's like, "Good morning, sunshine. We are meeting down in the courtyard. You look so awake. If you're going to be a Grey Warden, you get used to some early rises," and you get that big, like, almost forgetting that she's got a metal gauntlet on, like, slap on the shoulder.
As long as you tell me there's food, I swear.
Of course
I'm
there's
so
food.
hungry.
Of course there's food. Of course there's food. There's always food now. Come on, hurry up, down to the courtyard you go. And, like, she sort of almost, like, helps you shuffle.
And she'll lazily flop her way to the courtyard.
And last but not least, Dylan, how are you sleeping? Did you sleep?
It has been a trial. So normally I would go and sleep on my ship, but we're in the desert, so there is no ship. So I am trying to lay on this bunk, and I normally sleep on a bunk, but this one's just so damn still. How does anyone sleep when it's all so damn still? So I've been pacing, trying to sleep again, pacing a bit more. Like looking around to see if there's some kind of, like, I don't know, perhaps an oasis will appear and I can go and sleep on those lovely waters. That would be amazing. Thank you very much, Nadine, for that subscription. You have an advantage to gift whoever you like. Also, Duz has given us all the first advantage free, and Ambaragawe gave you an advantage on us. I butchered that name, I'm sorry. Oh, and Derek subscribed as well, and I threw my chopsticks across the room. Derek also subscribed. You have an advantage to gift too. So no, I reckon by the time that I hear everyone else being waking up, I'm just about falling asleep, and I'm like...
And as you breathe that heavy sigh, there's that shrill voice. Good morning, Mr. Ezekiel. Are you awake?
And I just
We are going nice and early.
open the door. I haven't got undressed at all. I just sweep my hat on. And away we go.
No, you're the most efficient this morning. Follow me. And this just starts to walk. And you can see Ariava sort of half stagger out and start making their way down to the courtyard. There doesn't seem to be many people up right now as you all walk into this courtyard. It's quite chilly, despite this being the desert. The light, the sort of the morning sun is sort of casting itself onto the balcony where you were all sleeping. But otherwise, due to the size of this fortress, everything is cast in shade. And most people seem to be either asleep or very quietly moving around, other than Dasha. You can see some of the Grey Wardens are leading their griffins out, and these huge, like, saddle packs are being laid over the top of them as they are being fed themselves this morning. As you arrive, Dasha very quickly is taking things out herself with this pack and shoving, like, cheese and bread and some wine into your hands. It's just like, eat up, we're going to have a busy day. How is everyone this morning? I'm feeling good.
I'm remarkably awake.
Oh, me or you?
Sleeping is difficult on the mainland.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like me to get you a hammock next time? I can do that. I'm sure I can.
Actually, that might
for you.
Might just work.
Anyway, I'm sure you need to fill up before we take off a flight for Nordbotten. We one of the I'm going to get in trouble for forgetting his name because it's on the other side of my notes. Ronan! Ronan has already left this morning, and you're going to go fly and meet him. He's going to assess the situation. I'm coming too. So we will all have some fun. It'll all be, well, it won't be fun, but enjoy yourselves because, you know, it could be the last day we're alive. So what we are going to do...
That will make Ariava's eyes suddenly, like, both open.
It's okay. It's okay. I jest. So we will if we all eat up and then we will get going. Yes. And you can see she's in the full silver armor, that very royal blue, shining through, far too perky for this time in the morning.
Your cheer never fails to impress me.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment.
Just gives a nod, not sure if it was like meant to be as one, but yeah, she'll get her food. Just look at the rest of the party, especially like Ariava and Dylan. Like, I get the sense that you aren't warning people.
I mean, I can be, I guess.
I mean, the early bird catches the worm, but the night owl catches the shrew. I don't know. Is there a phrasing for that?
Yes, but the early griffin catches the archdemon, so we need to start moving. And she starts like leading like these griffins over to you.
I out of character are trying so hard to not lose my shit out of love for Dasha, whereas Cecilia is just like at most a small like quirk at the lips.
And you can see Ariava. You can see that female Grey Warden that you first met in Ferelden, and she gives you a sort of a smile as Tarka looks at you, gives you a wink, and you can see that huge, very dark griffin stood by her side again, sort of saddled up, and she looks over to you as like, "Would you like to ride with me again? You know, I put an extra handle on there for you."
Can I drive?
I mean, it's not drive. You can drive. Like, she's sort of like, it's like, you can see this huge, like, broad
you know, like
sword on
driving
her
a cart, right? You drive a horse.
You can. It's a proper term.
This steed here has 800 horsepower. You know.
And she sort of like, you can certainly try. And she sort of walks over, and there is like, as you sort of step over, she offers you the front of this saddle. And this griffin looks to you, and you see those very orange, almost hawk-like eyes as it bows to you and sort of like flumps down and allows you to saddle onto this griffin.
I will
that's a
straddle
good
the
sign.
saddle.
As you straddle the saddle, sort of smiles watching you do it as you sort of shift in place, and you hear that sort of that clunk and movement of metal as she gets on the back, holds on, swinging herself on. Everyone, we need to get going. And you see two other Grey Wardens walk forward. One of them calls back to Dasha. It's like, "Kesh, will you hurry up?" He's like, I'm coming. And she sees her pulling her own griffin towards it. It's like, "So, who's coming with me?" No takers, otherwise I would just pick someone.
I step backwards.
Oh, like she sort of smiles.
Not like big, but just like Hell no, not this early in the morning.
Roll bluff. Roll bluff.
Oh, you know I am weak. Is that communication skill?
You don't actually have to roll bluff, but as you know, do now.
Oh, okay. Is this communication?
Yeah, unless
Yes, it's the deception communication.
Okay.
oh my goodness. This is a very important first roll of the game, lads. Eh?
That's not actually that bad. She barely
Not terrible.
notices. She's too busy, like, looking at everything else.
I
And
love
she's
her.
just, okay.
If no one else wants it, I like
Yeah,
kind of
no,
look
I was
around and
thinking-
just
No, I was thinking
we
Cecilia
both
would.
like take a step forward and look at each other.
I mean, you could both come if you want. There's plenty of room. And she's like patting this griffin.
Step back.
I just looked at this guy.
This is Monka. And you look at this griffin who stands very proudly, very tall, very big, almost the complete opposite of Dasha in every way, as it is a very sleek, dark charcoal grey all over, apart from one sort of patch on its shoulder, and by its like reaching from its shoulder up past its eye.
I'll give a nod of a head to the what was the griffin's name again?
Monka.
Monka. Yeah, I'll give a nod of the head. And I'll look to Dasha as like, I feel like we are probably the best acquainted. Perhaps we'll be able to work better together.
I'm okay, whatever you say. And she sort of starts swinging you see her sort of swing her leg over on this saddle, as you've seen her do many times before. She offers her hand down in case you want to have a hand, do you?
Yeah, Cecilia will take it, yeah.
Yeah, and she sort of gives you a heave up on
Yeah.
the back. And two more Grey Wardens step forward. One of them is definitely a magic user. But he's very tall, he's very, very broad, and he looks to both of you. Who am I taking? And you can see this, he's very, like, he is as square and he is as wide as he is tall. This guy's huge. And he has got like a stubble, like this very red stubble, and this red hair which looks to be kept very, very neatly.
I think Dylan will step forward. This person reminds him of an old quartermaster, and he has a feeling there'll be no nonsense. Also, we should say a big thank you to Sphinx, who gives 2 advantages to everyone, and also gives 2 advantages to Dasher as well.
Nice. She deserves it.
It's what she deserves!
Dasher will survive. And this huge, very red-haired man looks at you, holds out this massive hand. If anything, this man looks like he should be built for a double-handed axe. But he's definitely got a mage staff strapped to his back. Tyrion, it is good to meet you.
Dylan Azikrian. I am mostly tired. Sleeping is difficult. Say we die or kill the archdemon. Hey.
It's okay. We'll wake you up. And he basically grabs you and puts you in front of him on this griffin.
Tyrion, are you saying that I can sleep whilst we fly?
No, I'm saying this is gonna wake you up. You're a sailor, right? You like the breeze in your hair.
Challenge accepted. I'm just gonna,
Fact,
like,
Scrat falls asleep on every form of public transport. I do
It's
believe his
so
character will too.
and I'm
It's
just
a
gonna.
special talent.
I
It's a
don't
Oh.
get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. Even the most uncomfortable coach we've ever been on, I managed to fall asleep for like 6 hours.
It's the worst time. I literally turned around and he was
God, I wish
Respect
that were
that.
me.
out.
So much respect.
I'm just gonna take my like my belt loop that hangs around me. I don't know why. I don't have any pouches or anything. Maybe this thing's for something. I don't know. But I'm just gonna
It's a
like
fantasy costume belt. There's
Yeah.
always just random leather belts in fantasy costumes.
because they're useful for exactly this reason. I'm just gonna loop it through the handle of the thing a few times and pull it nice and tight, and then just sort of like cross my arms and
And you feel this griffin move underneath you. It's just like, and this, you can feel this huge mage lean forward and goes, Atticus will wake you up when we get started, just so you're aware. But nap whilst you can. And sort of straightens back up again. And Kahal, you see this very tall, almost slender man step forward. Now, this man does have a broadsword strapped to his back, which is almost parallel to the other guy. And he's got quite a cheery smile on his face. You can see these very dark brown eyes. You can spot this Ferelden anywhere, and you can see him sort of messing about with a Mabari before he walks over with his griffin. Like, hello, Ethan, nice to meet you. Like, holds his hand up, this gauntlet hand. It's like, well, you certainly look kitted out, as he looks at all of the things that are currently attached to you. He's like, optimistic, I like it. This is Whiteclaw. And this almost completely Snow White griffin comes forward. Like, he's a good boy, and sort of like is scratching him more stab as you can see this griffin like curling into his hand. He's just like, like, and it's almost like it's not quite as, it's not that it's not obedient, it's that it's not listening, as he sort of pushes it down slightly as it realizes that it's someone's trying to get on it. He's like, after you.
I gave him a little bow and Michael.
Okay.
I managed a way to like strap this halberd to my back because I know it's gonna be useless while flying, but at least I have a bow otherwise.
And like you see this Grey Wolf trying to maneuver around the house, like you feel it move on your back as he's like, just gonna shift that. Great, thanks. Okay, everyone ready? And the Tyrion sort of looks fast, just holds out like his fist, and you've got Tarka sort of leans forward to Ariava, is like, just give him a tiny little nudge at the side and he'll start going. And as you nudge, you feel this whole griffin stand upright. And with paws padded, you see at the gate a few guards start to open the gangplank, suddenly realizing in a slight panic as these other griffins follow suit. And you do feel almost like you're on a galloping horse. This cat type creature is like sprinting. And Cecilia, have you ever been on a griffin with Dasha before? Do you reckon?
Probably not. I think she's been on a griffin before. I think they probably flew her in like from Tevinter and like maybe around the place a few other times. I don't think she's been on one with Dasha.
Okay. And Dasha sort of like, oh, here we go, and like you can feel this these padded paws start running, and Kahal and Dylan and Ariava, Dylan and Kahal, you see Ariava almost like take the lead as she starts sprinting and running with this griffin, and these wings start to unfurl as you see these guards panic, throwing the doors open. This griffin it looks as if it would have just gone through the doors if they hadn't opened in time. And all of you start to gallop and run, and it's like the land leaves you behind as they start to lurch up into the air. And you're looking over the western approach, this huge desert, and you see all of these griffins start to sort of match and fly in unison, almost alongside each other, curling round at an arch. You feel yourself dip slightly as it curves round the side, and as you head towards Norbotton, and you are flying through the air for a while. Is there anything you would like to do whilst you are up here?
I want to roll willpower to try and sleep.
Roll me willpower. It's going to be contested.
We're not even gonna make it to the battlefield. Scratch is gonna fall.
I win.
Damn it, I had an advantage on auto success. I should have wasted them.
Gosh.
You start to doze, like you know that like that lull of the head, that sort of, and then you get every now and then this wing. As it flaps, you get that gust that sort of like catches you in the side of the leg as you sort of try and fall forwards. Every now and then you also feel this gauntlet try and right you upright again as you feel like you're going to tip off of this griffin.
Okay, you're right.
You don't like the wind in your hair. You don't enjoy the view? And he sort of looks down and you can see these huge wastes of this. Just these mountains in the background. These huge sort of big, sort of where rivers once ran and carved through the rock. It's okay, lad. And he sort of like gives you a heavy pat on the side.
I bet Cecilia is just kind of looking over the view. Oh no, definitely thinking about the battle to come, I suppose.
Yeah. You can you heard a distinct yelp of woohoo as Darsha left the ground. And she sort of looks back at you and she's like, okay, so I mean I can't get over that every time. It's like one of the best things that ever happened. So are you comfortable back there?
About as comfortable as I can be, yes.
No, okay. I didn't. I'll be quiet. I will point, and I will go. And
It's fine,
you can
Dasha.
see, like, she sort of pauses and goes, "Look, no hands." And I don't actually need hands, but like as she starts like scritching this griffin that is currently flying through the air, and Kahal, you have this.
Having the time of my life.
Yeah, literally just
the best thing.
Thumbs up like roller coaster.
Not quite that far, but just very much like looking around, and if anyone manages to glance over with this wind, he's like beaming.
And Ethan is sort of like, it's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, I won't lie, this kind of sealed the deal for me joining.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. And he's just sort of like, so you can just see a big beaming smile on his face as well. Whereas over on Ariava's griffin, you can see a smile. It doesn't seem to be directed at the view or at the griffin, but Tarka is smiling at Ariava as Ariava is effectively holding on and navigating. How are you doing this, Ariava? Well, how would Ariava do it?
Ariava, can I almost see how much of a natural she might be at this kind of thing or not?
Roll like a dexterity check, like a sleight of hand or anything along those sorts of lines.
That'll come to 16 total.
Ooh, yes. You take to the sky with this naturally. In fact, now this almost like, you don't know if it's because it's your second time doing this, riding a griffin, or it just feels completely natural. You didn't jolt, you didn't anything as you took off. It just felt like it's such a smooth ascent up into the sky. And as you do, you can even lean and you feel the griffin move with you. And Tarka's just left you to do the entire thing as you sort of start to rise up higher and higher, and it's a lot cooler up here, and the sensation is just very, very freeing.
I knew you said like, hell yeah it is.
Yeah. Sunglasses.
Yeah, I think throughout all of this, Ariava will go from almost like this like scared yet determined look to just like this beaming but like beamingly determined. So she still has that like, Yeah, all right. This is exhilarating. Woo! It's everything that is it Dasha's on the back of mine, I believe, yes?
No, Taka.
Taka, sorry.
Yeah, this is the one that you met in the village.
Right. So Taka is probably having to take all of Taka's power to stop Ariava from like trying to get the griffin to try like doing like turns.
Do a flip.
Yeah, or like, a loop-de-loop kind of thing. Or like she's going to try and like like no hands.
Like you sort of very, very slowly put your hands out and you can just feel your shirt like billowing, that almost like it as all this gush of air is coming. You can hear a laugh from Taka behind you, like a proper belly laugh as you're doing it. You don't see the hand hovering behind you of panic, just in case. But probably Cecilia and Kahal can from where they are. But you do see Ariava holding her hands out, and there is this whooshing sensation.
Yeah, she'll probably do the whole like, woo! Like let out a loud like scream, yell, just into the eternal universe before her.
Yeah, this like yell of excitement catches you all hear it, and it just feels good. And Ethan sort of looks to Kahaya as like, they're enjoying themselves. Told you, it's great. Really good feeling. I mean, you can try it. I can hold on if you want. I've done it. I almost fell off the first time.
All right.
It's all right. Dasha did that. Oh my god, names. Yeah, Dasha did fall off the first time.
You've got Dasha and Dancer and Prancer.
I've literally gone for the freaking reindeers, and I don't know why. None of this was intentional. Oh, I do this to myself. Just gonna write that down.
No reindeer.
No reindeer.
Stay away from Rudolph, the archdemon.
Avoid rhyming with Prancer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Santa's reindeer takes out an archdemon. So, you all sort of have this moment as you sail through the air, and it's probably after 2-3 hours of just this almost serene sort of traveling, and you see a huge darkness sort of looming. And as you get closer and closer, you see this darkness that looks like a shadow cast on the land. These creatures, these things you saw in Fereld, and these things you saw in Tevinter, and Cecilia, these things you've been studying. This almost like this pitch black darkness is moving, and you can hear the stomping on the ground, and you can hear the clank of their metal, you can hear the clank of their swords. But slightly further away from them, you also see this huge, what looks to maybe once it was a fortress, maybe a walled city, a town of Norbotten, which is supposed to be intact. And you can see one of the walls is breached down at the bottom. And you do see an army as these griffins start coming into land within these city walls, these broken city walls, as they come to a running stop. sort of running, sort of missing parts of the desert coming in immediately to the ground, skidding to a halt, and you see like a camp, but a battle an army has set up here. You see fires, and as in fire pits, dotted around for this early morning. You see all manner of people, men, women. There don't seem to be any children here. This seems to be an army. You, just from the crowded voices around you in this morning, you hear Ferelden, Orlesian, Antivan. You even see the odd Tevinter here. And you can hear the clang of metal from the armory, from the blacksmiths. You can see a few Grey Wardens. They're out in the open, over a table, over some maps, what looks to be like some form of battle plan. And this place is a war zone. Some of the walls have been ripped down. If there were houses here, they're not really here anymore. You can see this huge creature. Some people have not really met them before. In fact, some of you may never have. This Kunari, the huge horns sort of like protruding out of its head with these tattoos all over it as it trudges through. And this is huge. As it trudges through, dragging what looks to be multiple weapons, carrying them all over towards the blacksmith. You see a few more other griffins, a lot of Mabari. In fact, there are pens and pens of Mabari, and you can see a lot of them with this blue and green and red, like war paint being put on them. They seem pretty happy about it. But there's a lot of devastation as you come into land. And it is a skidding halt. It's a little bit of a jolt, but not enough to fall off. And the Grey Wardens, Tarka, sorry, Dasha, Rudolph, here we go. They all get off their griffins. They don't seem to help any of you off. They sort of leave you to hop off yourself. They immediately run over to this table of these other wardens, where you can see Ronan. And there seems to be almost like a conversation, a very rushed, a very worried conversation. What would you like to do?
As I slide off, I just kind of pet this griffin.
Yeah, it does a little sort of, like it stretches up.
Kind of lowly, just thank you. And I'm not gonna really approach this meeting, but just sort of like wait till someone has a place for me to go, I suppose. Just kind of stand up ready for anything. Take stock of like what has been set up. Like, are there any like barricades or anything? Like, is this meant to be a place to like stand firm, or are they planning to like meet them in the field?
This looks like this did stand firm at one point. You can't see the end of the city. This is huge. You can see that the walls go far, far back, and you can hear fighting somewhere, but you're at a distance where it's just noise, almost. And Ethan walks over and looks at all of you. You should probably come over here. I think we're going to need your help.
Cecilia slides off of this griffin and flicks out her robes. By all means.
Great. And he looks like a weight has been dropped on his shoulders already. And he walks you all over to the table where these other Grey Wardens are. Ronan looks up and has a very sad smile for all of you, but it's a very stern look on his face. Welcome, thank you for coming. We this is Fanes. and as he sort of not steps aside, but you suddenly see next to him is this huge Grey Warden dwarf that is sat there. Sort of the table comes up to his like shoulders, but he rests these huge gauntlets on the edge and points out. And it on this table looks to be a map of Norbotten, this fortress, with all the walls, and there seems to have been that maybe there were 5 or 6 outer walls until it reached the city. This was a heavy duty and well-protected city. And Ronan looks over to all of you. I have a request. There are tunnels underneath the city, and one of my friends has gone missing. Captain Zaris, she has vital information, and she's not come back yet, her or her men. We think her location is here, and he moves this almost like this battle axe sort of figure over up to where you can see one of the outer barricades, one of the outer walls are. And on some of the more inner walls, you can see where they've built like stakes as walls to stop these things coming in. There is a tunnel underneath the cellar. I'm not going to throw you in the front line, but I need someone to go and find her, retrieve information, something. If she's got something that can help us win this war, we need it. We need her. You can take the map, but it's very much down into the cellar, follow the tunnel. And it should bring you out, and he sort of moves the scale all the way up towards the outer walls, the huge sort of the barricades, the giant walls where you can see there'd be watchtowers all the way along. We last had contact from her here. They're trying to hold off the main army. They've seemed to have fallen back for now, but it won't be long until they try and push again. That thing, that dragon is with them. I don't know what to do about it. Don't approach it. We've got men and women in the skies for that. And you sort of look up and you can see some griffins circling that seem to have some riders on them. What say you?
The rest of the group.
Don't mind going on a nice little side quest whilst everyone else fights the demon.
Was she a scout? But...
No. She's with scouts. She is a captain. One of the main captains of our armies.
Surely there must be... It must be of more value elsewhere. Like, in the thick of things.
If she dies with the information, then there's no point.
Right.
This is value. And he sort of walks over and he rests, and this man stands quite tall and he rests a hand on your shoulder. This is valued. I just can't leave while she's not here. It's a worthy cause, Ariava. And we will gladly welcome you into our arms as a Grey Warden, if that is what you wish. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll look to Ariaba and say, knowledge is incredibly important. Don't downplay that. This does seem like a very important job.
And don't think you won't face anything down there. We've seen some of the things beyond the wall. Not pretty.
Where do these tunnels lead?
They lead under the city and towards the outer gates. It's supposed to be some sort of quick escape route, as it were, to the outer parts of the cities by the front. Only we're going to use it for the opposite.
Alright.
Cecilia just nods and she'll take off, like, go through a bag and take out, I think, a small satchel or something. It's like, bring this to your healers. It should help on the front lines.
Thank you. And he sort of reaches out, but before that, this dwarf comes over, gives you a gruff sort of just like sound from his throat, not really anything else, but he nods and gives you sort of a, it's not a smile, but it's definitely a thanks as he takes it, and you can see him heading over to where there are many wounded. I can show you the way in through the cellars. Do you have everything you need? Okay.
I think so, yes.
Follow me. And he walks out in this huge courtyard, and you suspect there was a door or an archway here once. It's not here anymore. That goes into a smaller courtyard with a small wooden door. And he opens it, and you can see what looks to be like a wine cellar. They look like they're storing some form of supplies in here and some rations in here. So you can see the food, you can see the wine and the ale, and you can see a lot of weapons stacked in here as well, almost as if they're hidden behind things just in case. And you see a trapdoor on the floor. Please bring the captain back.
What does she look like?
Oh,
Brief
you'll see
description.
her. Jet black hair, normally in a long plait. It's probably, well, you'll hear her before you see her. Let's put it that way. She'll be wearing plate mail with the sign of Orlais on the front.
Very well. Cecilia just nods, and she'll get her take her staff off from her back and have it ready.
Good luck,
Well then.
friends. And he opens the
To you as
trapdoor.
well.
We'll be here when you get back.
There's just a nod, that one, and I think Cecilia will go down first.
And you step down these creaky wooden stairs into darkness. Are the rest of you following, or is there anything else you'd like to see?
Good, follow.
Okay. You follow down into this darkness, and for a while it is literally a cellar tunnel. You can see where barrels have been rolled, you can see where some other things have been stored, and there are lanterns lighting the way. You suspect someone actually went out this way, probably the captain. And you move deeper and deeper when the rock seems to fall away beneath, like your feet. It's just dirt now. There is no cobbled stones. You've lost all sort of fact that you are in this fort. And it moves deeper and deeper. And you start to see bits of ore sort of protruding from parts of the wall, and what looks to be like this has been dug, and some of it has been very freshly dug. You see brand new like pit things holding up this ground, and they look super sturdy. It's all been done very, very well. And you walk and you walk, and as you move above your head, you can hear the fighting.
As we're walking, if there's any, like, random boxes laying around or piles of filth, I'd like to look for, catches, springs, small flasks of oil, all sorts of things that I can build traps with.
Okay. I tell you what, roll me a D100, please.
I shall.
Okay. So, you find a sort of almost like it's been dropped on the way, whether it's to the cellar or out of the cellar. A bottle of Antivan wine.
Oh. This looks like the perfect gift for me.
+3. Would
No, I know
anyone
exactly
else
who I would
like
give it
to look for anything, or would you just keep moving?
I
Now
think
that it's-
yes. There you go.
Now that it's more like dirt floor, are there any like odd footprints down this way? I didn't.
You can see where it's been walked many a time. They look to be very sort of similar footprints to yours. It doesn't look like anything has come this far. I will also say if anyone rolls a nat 1 on the D100, you're getting elf fruit.
That's helpful.
I can use that. I can use that.
Bloody elf fruit
It's
everywhere.
not royal elf fruit, it's just elf fruit.
Ah,
Fair.
worst kind.
Nothing coming back this way. Footprint-wise?
Nothing has come back this way.
But are the footprints pretty clear to see? Like,
Yeah, they seem pretty clear to
Trust it.
see. There
Alrighty.
seems to have been, you can definitely see where there's like 4 or 5 people have been moving. So it doesn't look like a squad has gone. This looks like this was meant to be a subtle movement. And if any of you would, could you roll me a perception check, please?
Alrighty. Oh god, where's my sheet? Perception
Al-
was it?
Anyone can roll perception.
Alice, does this involve seeing?
Yes, it does involve seeing.
Wow, I have a skill in that.
Is it just one of us or all of
Do
us?
you? Do nat
Anyone who
ones?
wants to.
Oh, okay, cool.
You say 2 nat 1s, I say stunt points if it's a success.
Get one a single stump. Oh, I get 4 if it's a success.
Okay, is Ariava going to roll for perception as well?
I
Or-
rolled a 7.
A 7, okay. Well, you and Dylan have seen nothing. As you stand at the back, you've seen him pulling the wine out of the jar. So I'm like, oh, this is a good bottle of wine. However, Kahal and Cecilia almost, you've both picked up a bottle.
Cecilia's looking at you both.
ate a bottle.
You're questioning both of your priorities.
Shot glass.
Yes, yes.
Ah, yes, looks like an 1873 Burgundy. Not the year.
You're sat there at the back having a swig. And Kahal and Cecilia, you realize you're walking almost side by side for the first time. And you both glance at each other. How would you glance at each other? Like, is there real distaste here? Or, like,
I think
is it
it's
the
more just like a
opposite?
wariness. It's not knowing what to expect.
Cecilia's unreadable. She does
Yeah.
glance over, but it's very blank.
And as you both
Oh.
glance, you look over to one of the sides of this, and you can see where the ground is shaking. It's not falling, but dust falls as you can hear all these thundering footsteps running overhead. And as it does, you see over in one of the far corners where these trails branch out, what looks to be a tunnel or a doorway or something that has been covered up, maybe blocked
From this side?
from this side.
And
Does
does the
that seem to
tunnel
be where the
continue
map-
elsewhere?
Yeah, the tunnel does keep going forward as well.
Does this
Okay.
seem to be where the map was bringing us, or
This is not on the map, this extra tunnel, as it were. There's no record of it.
and do the footprints keep going away from it or towards it, or
You can see where some of them seem to split off and some of them go forward. It looks maybe one pair went this way. You're not sure whether it was to block it up or whether they went through.
well, it's like they were trying to keep something out.
If I head over there, can I see if this is like super recent, like the rocks were just placed there, or does it seem to have been there for a while?
This looks probably to have... It looks like that was blocked off before, and maybe something has fallen away and they have reblocked it. So it looks like an old block, but it's looking
Yeah.
cracked and dry.
Can they see through it, or like is it like 100% blocked off, like you can't even peer through it, or is it like boards that you could like have gap through?
You can
or...
see some boards, but it's like padded with dirt in between, but where some of it is cracked away, you could probably look through if you want to roll a perception.
I'll do that. I'll look to Kahal. It's like I can see a small amount. However, it'd be better if I could light it up just a little bit. However, this may give away some location. I'll use as a creation mage.
Mm-hmm.
I can summon just like a small wisp within 10 yards of me. Can I
Okay.
summon a wisp on the other side of this?
Yeah, no, for
So
sure.
like maybe give myself like lower the target number or something for the perception check, or
Yeah,
something?
roll that and I'll tell you how much you can see with the wisp.
Alrighty, all 15.
Yeah, wow, yeah. So you sort of reach out and you just light this wisp on the other side. And Kahal, you see this. Ariava and Dylan are currently looking at the wonderful bottle of wine at the back of the room.
Very
Ooh.
excited.
You see this wisp sort of weave around the room, almost like a firefly, leaving this trail. And there looks to be a whole nother chamber in this place. And there's something reflecting in there.
Can I see anything regarding what is reflected? Does it see like an object on the ground, or
You can see what looks to be an object on the ground that is reflecting, but also there seems to be part of the wall on the other side that is reflecting as well. You can see coloured tiles, and there seems to be the bottom of some form of statue as well.
there's something in there? I can't quite make out what it is. We could go in and look, but it's a risk. But it's also a risk not looking, because what if she's gone this way?
If she'd gone this way, someone else would have had to block this up behind them.
Good point, but
Unless, are there
So-
any other paths off of it that you can tell?
I can see what seems to be the base of the statue.
You can see the base of the statue and what looks
Yeah.
to be maybe a set of stairs, but there's that you can literally see almost like a corner. Like it could be a set of stairs, it could be some ledges, you're not too sure.
Yeah, so I can see the base of the statue and what I think are some stairs, but it's only the corner of a room. I can't make out much.
Who has the map?
Who does have the map?
I would kind of guess that it was Cecilia being like
Yeah.
our senior warden.
I think Cecilia would have it. But yeah, it's like this isn't on the map at all.
Could I hear that?
You two can both definitely hear this conversation going on. If anything, you're looking at these two that have been kind of disgruntled with each other, peering through the same sort of slab of words like
Bonding! A bonding
Having
moment.
bonding time.
What's not on the map?
This. And step aside so you can see. So there's another corridor this way. Someone's taken the time to block it up or re-block it up. It looks like someone broke it down at some point, but I guess perhaps whatever they found in there, they wanted to keep in there, but could be worth checking out just briefly.
It's another way in or out.
Could be some kind of wine cellar.
Get a raised brow from Cecilia. Like I
Fortunes of
worry
fortune.
about I worry about your priorities in this situation.
I could
think
go
I-
more of this.
I think I am gonna gift the bottle of wine to Ariava, seeing their interest in it. Do I get like a +3 or a +5 or something?
For the fabled +9.
Ooh.
Like the plus God knows how much when you get like the event items. Goodness. It's like, so we have a choice. Do we want to check out this side passage, the possibility that she's gone this way and potentially waste some time, or go past it, risking that she's gone this way after all?
Unless there's another way in, I don't think she'd have gone alone. There was only one set of tracks coming this way.
Can I potentially move the wisp, like, float a bit further down? One, to see if I can get a better look at what's glinting on the ground, and two, to see if, like, anything, this light on the end of this thing attracts any attention, like if I can see a shadow or something moving.
Okay.
At all.
Can you roll me another perception, please?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So, as you do this, the wisp sort of dances around the room. There doesn't seem to be any reaction from anything in particular, but it casts over this surface, and it's a mirror.
Just a mirror, guys. Okay, let's leave.
Avery has very bad memories from last Dragon Age because of a mirror. Last time I was like, look at mirror.
Mirrors are great.
And Bad Moon Rising.
Hey,
two characters.
Hey, that
was
none
a
of
you.
that was me. That
was a
me.
you, but I've
You were
had
like,
two
Alice,
characters.
Alice, I can't make it next week. I was like, okay, here's an alluvian.
You said to me, and I quote, "That's okay. I can make Nara disappear." I'm like, you can do what?
Hey, I did. It was a good thing. You survived.
It works.
Survive,
No
yeah.
casual Illuvian.
Yeah, casual Olivia. Yeah, I was just like, there's a mirror. Was this a thing on the ground, or was this
There seem to be two in here.
two mirrors? Oh, there's two
One is
mirrors.
like, it looks like one of them is fallen and one of them is propped up.
Bigger than mirrors.
They're like big
mirrors.
big
Okay,
ones, yeah.
tall, slim mirrors.
I was just wanting to make sure before we got excited and they were just like little mirrors.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine
it's like a
that?
little
Just like,
mirror on the
Like a
ground.
hand mirror.
On the floor, one propped up against the like wall.
Yeah, I just looked funny. It's like there's two mirrors in there. I can't get a better look. We'd have to go in there. It's up to you. Do we want to keep moving or?
Well,
this
if you
thing
don't
down.
think that it'll draw attention, I can get this down pretty quickly, but it will be loud.
That's why I'm asking for a second opinion.
Work together.
I mean, I don't think that this is the way that they would have gone, but if you wish, we can leave her open this gateway or whatever it is. If you want to find the other people, though, I think that perhaps we should stick to the course.
Let's make note of it.
Add
Put
it
it
to
on
the
the
map.
map.
Ariava?
Your lips are moving, but
Plugged in. Hello?
yeah,
There you
I
go,
can
yep.
hear you now.
Oh damn it! I must just said it too quietly. Me too quiet. You should say. I guess I'll go with adventure.
I was close the eyes and a sigh at the fact that no one has really given a definite like we should do this. And it's like, let's follow the map. On the way back, if we don't find them where the map states that they will be, then we'll come back here. I mean, this doorway isn't going anywhere.
Agreed.
And she'll turn on a heel and walk back out. Snaps her fingers and the wisp disappears. Alice, nothing's
you're
coming
muted.
through. No, you're muted.
Emma, what?
There we go.
What?
You were talking. your mouth was moving, but nothing was happening.
And
Zoom.
I blame Zoom. I fully blame Zoom.
Sure.
You're walking down this corridor, this tunnel, and it starts to get wider and wider and open up, and you can see almost this huge space open up, and you can definitely see where someone has passed through here. As you can see what looks to be maybe was once a campfire that was here. Could you all roll a perception check if you want to look around? You don't have to.
Ugh.
Can I
Not
use
this
searching
time.
for this?
Can you use what? Sorry.
Searching.
Yes, I definitely thought you said seduction.
I seduced the cave.
I want to seduce the
Hello,
cave.
you
hi.
echoing.
Oh, look at this
Nature.
cave. I'm alone in this cave. Sure hope no sexy ghosts come and haunt me.
I love your bats.
I was
Dylan.
gonna like try and chip in a pun, but I've totally caved. And thank you, Stella Luna, for that subscription. You have an advantage to gift to a player of your choice.
Please, no, I've already had one game of this crap.
Are you covered in stalactites or stalagmites? Like,
Because I like both.
Yeah.
Them
God.
Good old fishnet stalactites. Yeah.
Sexy cave. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, the stalactites that go on for days.
There's a war on people. There's a war on.
The Grey Waters just come down and just see the party losing their minds.
I will say, I never thought in my life I would ever say the words sexual stalactites. Like,
But here we are.
Thanks, Natalie. Is that a stalactite in your corner, or are you just happy to see me? Thank you, Natalie.
Oh, my face.
There's a war happening, guys.
The war's not here.
There are people dying outside.
Dying.
You guys are in here.
There is a blight.
Oh my god. Hang on, who rolled perception?
Oh, I could
I rolled
have.
dog shit.
Hey, does it involve seeing?
Yes, it does.
I can't
Oh
see.
my
God.
I rolled a 15.
You're 15.
Hey, thank you, Aria.
Okay, so
Yeah.
As Ariava is there by the stalactites and stalagmites, like, look that. She does notice. You do notice some blood. I've just completely destroyed the mood, I'm sorry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Some blood, and you can see it almost like this trail, but it trails up these stalactites and stalagmites. As you sort of slowly look up, and you see soldiers that look like they have been thrust onto the ceiling and to the surroundings, and this looks like this took a huge force to do this. You do not see the captain. You don't see anyone to that effect. You see some you do see some darkspawn bodies just laying around that look like they have been slain.
Can I tell how long ago this was by this, like, just from what I can see of the bodies and the blood?
From roll me a perception check, please.
Perception?
Mm-hmm. Or medical or something. I can't remember what.
Yeah,
thing
I
you
imagine
rolled.
Ariava like lets us know in some way, whether that just
Oh,
be
yeah.
like a squeak or what.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just over there.
guys.
Kind of looks up, it's like, oh, well, I'll just roll.
Looks like everything's fine in here.
Nothing to see here, guys.
On an 11,
11.
they look to have been here maybe just under a day.
Yeah, I think after seeing Ariel's reaction, following her gaze, and seeing everything, like, Celia's like knelt down, looking at some of this like human blood, and just kind of rubs the dirt between her fingers. Like, this couldn't have happened more than a day or so ago. Yeah, muted or not speaking loud enough.
Okay. So very quiet, very slowly. Were they thrown or?
Looking at the ground and the dust, can we see, like...
These
Oh.
look to have been forced on. And you think the ones from the ceilings, there was something big enough to put it there.
How high up is this? Because I'm imagining like a 40-foot cave, and
Yeah. It's not quite. That is about 20 foot.
Okay.
Still hefty. Is there another escape out of this?
Yeah,
Like-
you can see another tunnel the other side.
Yeah. And are there footprints leading out that way?
You can see what looks to be 2 sets of footprints.
Do they
Leaving.
look like the same ones that we've been
They
following?
they look to be the same.
And does it seem to have like a blood trail following as well?
There
As
doesn't
part of
seem to
injury?
be any blood, but you can tell from the way the stance that one of them is definitely dragging their leg.
Okay.
So you can imagine that they're capable of walking, but
Mm.
there's definitely been some form of injury.
This other passage, would it be large enough to accommodate, say, an ogre?
It's pretty huge. You've
there
seen
any,
one of
like-
these
Yeah.
creatures. One of these creatures that you've seen, you reckon it could probably get through something like that.
Are there any like scrapes along the ceiling that might be like its horns or something?
You can see scrapes along the ceiling, you see it along the walls, and there's something else that looks like a scrape, but it's too deep to be a claw or like a horn or anything like that. It looks like something metal that is dragged its way across.
Well, if it's an ogre, we'll probably hear it coming. At least.
Can you roll me a perception check, please?
Oh shit.
Sure.
Oh. Way to poke the DM.
On a 13, you, as you say this and look over to the group,
It's dramatic.
It's just there. It's like standing there.
There is a rumble in the ground, and you can
Shit.
see dust starting to make its way, sort of trickling down from the ceiling as you think for a moment the cave is shaking. You can feel the ground beneath your feet juddering. And somewhere from down that tunnel, there is a roar. And this doesn't sound like an ogre's roar. Sorry, Avery's eye is just completely just bug-eyed. This sounds like something that is running, almost cantering, something very, very heavy as it comes tearing down this tunnel, and you feel the rock shake as it bursts through. This huge creature, this Genot Alpha sort of bursts through, these huge shoulders on this creature, almost massive forearms, as it towers over you, all crouched on all fours, these huge muscles in the back legs, but its back is huge, these spines that run all the way down, and what looks to be like some sort of makeshift helm, with two big metal panels running down the side of its face and a huge spike up the top. Something you can probably guess was what created this mark in the wall. And as this happens, it comes charging through, and it sort of tears through this wall, actually ripping part of the wall of the tunnel off and throwing the rock to one side, breaking some of these stalactites on the way through.
No, don't destroy the stalactites. It's so sexy.
It takes so many years to form.
And you see this grin, this smile on this huge head, which seems to split almost from its mouth up to its ears, as this big gaping jaw of this just red and these teeth, and I need you all to roll initiative.
Plus Dex, right?
It's 3d6 plus your dex.
I don't have that.
And neither.
Ah, mages.
Just plus your base dex, yeah?
Which,
Yeah.
Yes.
Unless you have an ability in initiative.
kind of.
Be an 8 for me.
No, it was a lot.
15 for
Okay.
me.
Yay.
I have
Okay.
much dexness.
I need to roll for this thing. Let's have a look. I think it just uses I don't know. 12. Okay. Dylan, you have been. What have you been doing as this happens? As you see this creature comes charging through.
Soon as I heard the creature or anything like that, I would have either stuck myself behind a reasonably sized stalagmite. They're the ones that go up, right?
Tights go up.
Might is
No,
from the
tight-
ground. Stalactite is from
tights
the
hang
ground.
Oh
down.
yeah, because you take
Yeah.
the tights down.
So I would either. So
That's how I was taught.
The way to do it.
The fact that we remember any of this at all right now is just really impressive in the first place.
I would either hide behind one of the stalagmites or maybe the entrance to the cave where they're coming through. I'm gonna try and like do a little bit of a sneaky hide.
Okay, roll your stealth, please. Unless you have a particular skill in hiding.
What is
In
stealth?
sneaky hide in particular.
Yeah, you go bluff that roll.
What is
What is stealth? Is it dex?
Dex.
Dex, yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Hi.
Yeah. You, hang on, let's have a look where I go to. Yeah, you hide straight behind it. But so you sort of duck, you sort of throw yourself to the back behind this rock.
I'm
pressing
just
yourself up
setting up for the backstab, you know? Rogues
Yeah.
be roguing, right?
Yeah, and as this happens, it is this huge creature's turn. And since Dylan has moved, Kahal,
Hi.
This thing has sort of come and you can see it heaving up and down as it's breathing, as there's like that snarl at the back of its throat as it swings for you. So, and it just swings this huge fist. Oh!
I think it hits.
Woof.
Just.
Just barely.
Just a bit.
Just skims ya.
Oh, and it's got a
Don't say that.
It's got a dragon eye as well. The eye exploded. So, okay. As it swings this huge sort of fist towards you, you see it come charging towards you, and you take. It's okay, we've got someone who can heal this time.
At least I have armor.
Well, if I roll just like all sixes, I'm gonna feel so bad. You take 13 damage as you see, and the rest of you see as Kahal's come in, this huge fist of this creature is just come crashing forward. And Kahal doesn't go flying, but goes skidding along the floor. And this is almost like it's hit you straight in the stomach, Kahal. But it is now your turn as you are sent across the room by this creature.
Okay. Well, let's see. Sure. Okay, so on a round of combat, I have a major action, a minor action, and other things?
You
or
can
is
move.
it just
You can no, you
Okay.
can move. You can move. You can move a certain. It should. I think the distance is on your
Yes.
sheet.
Yeah.
I think so. You can move, and then you can take a minor, a major.
Okay. Cool. So as it goes like skidding off in that direction, pulls out this halberd and does like an odd like flourish to it, and I think it's just out of habit putting on a show, and runs back up. As a minor action, I would like to activate my self-healing. So for that is a nice Reaper spec skill. So for 2 turns, it's either going to be the amount of damage it takes, or like on a successful attack, or it's Constitution. Yes, Constitution rating, whichever is less. So
Okay.
it's not going to be a ton, but it's something.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna try and attack it. Yeah. Okay. I don't have any stuff, so it's just gonna be straight up. With a helper, though, it's very fun. Nice. Really?
But
Hey, if it's a success, you get stunt points.
Does it hit?
Do we have advantage? Do we have
I'm
advantage?
afraid it doesn't hit.
I do have advantage, but I feel like I might want to like save it. Well, actually, no. I have several advantages.
You do.
I will allow
I
you
would've-
to use an advantage now if you do wish to.
Okay, sure. That's better.
Stunt
Yep,
points.
you hit. You hit.
Yay!
Yeah, when you get stun points. You have 4
Yeah.
stun points.
So I got what?
4 stun points. So I think we're doing the last dice. Yeah, so last dice rolled
Last dice.
4 stun points. So you can use that to like increase your attack or
Age
I have the
54,
chart
combat
up.
stunts. Yeah.
I'll get it up for you.
Computer. Really?
Page 54. So
There is the seize
There it
the
is.
initiative, which that would use all 4.
yeah, you seize the initiative, which means you go to top of the initiative. You can do a dual strike. Oh wait, no, you can't. That's only if there's 2 enemies
Yeah.
there. You can make another attack with a lightning attack for 3 stunt points. For 2
Or
stunt points, you
You
can.
can also do the mighty blow, which might work with your
Yeah.
character,
Yeah, I can
where
do that
you-
with
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, you,
You do that with 2,
Yeah.
and you inflict extra 1d6 damage onto your attack.
I'm
Yeah.
a journeyman with two-handed weapons, so I get to do it with one. Do I lose them at the end of this turn?
Yeah.
Stunt points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lose.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
Yeah, you could do pierce armor for 2, which is like the armor rating is halved. You could do, and you could do mighty blow, so that's 3 points. So you could do that, and
sure. Yeah.
and you could
yeah.
and you could skirmish as well for that one last point and move yourself or the target 2 yards away.
I can do that. Sure. It's just
So good, yeah. Stunt point. There's a lot when you get those stunt points. It's immediately like,
Use
oh my
them
god,
all.
there's so many things I can do.
I gotta.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
wasted anyway. Like if you don't use
Yeah,
them.
exactly. So I may as well. All right, so we'll do the pierce armor one for 2. I'll spend the 1 to make it a mighty blow, and then essentially, I just want to be in between it and the rest of the party. So
okay, yeah, you can maneuver yourself,
Yeah.
as it were, to that. If you could roll the damage.
Okay.
for me.
So that's an extra d6. So that is many number.
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Describe what it looks like as you do attack this creature, though, because it's just swung and it's crashed into you.
Yeah.
What have you done back to it?
It's like as is swung around and kind of stepped almost like a series of steps, almost like a dance, as it takes in like a big breath and like swings this around and up and kind of cuts the armor actually of its like face. If I could cut like at
Yeah.
like damage that like helmet type thing, that looks dangerous, so made for ramming,
It is,
I
it
might
is.
say. So yeah, that's how it looks. This like giant polearm that's like taller than he is, but taking the momentum of it, that's why it hits so hard.
Yeah, you sort of flourish it and you spring it up at the same time. It catches the creature's face as well as it going through this helmet and breaking it as it does so. And it lets out this roar as it sort of sits back, almost like to just get away and try and regain its vision. Cecilia, it is your turn.
Alrighty. How hurt does Kahal look now?
Oh, so I'm assuming the Constitution score is less than yeah. So what was that?
3.
So I am honestly not looking bad at all.
Okay, fantastic. If that's the case, I will. I think I'll just attack it for now. Save some mana for when I actually need to heal and stuff. I'm just gonna use an arcane lance, just the general
Okay.
usual stuff. So it's 3d6 plus 4. Ooh, and I get stump
Yeah.
points with that.
Mhm.
And I'm going to use one of my mage abilities, which is I can cast a spell, another spell after that. But I'll do damage first. It's just 1d6 plus 4. Okay, but it has to be less than 3. I am going to cast Heroic Offense on Kahal
Mhm.
as well. I have to roll a. It's pretty hard for me to fail it, but you never know. It's got a target number of 11. I wanted the exclamation marks.
Oh! I actually don't know.
What? What? Why is it an 8?
It's excited.
Excited. Okay. I don't know why
This is
it's not
not
an
just
8 on a
any
D6.
D6. This is an 8.
Why? What's happening? I'm using. I'm not typing this in. I'm using the roller. What's going on?
What is
It's
going
grown
on?
2 more sides.
happening? Okay. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
What's happening? Okay, fine. Alrighty. It's just /roll 3d6.
Yeah.
3d6 plus. Okay, alrighty,
we
I'm
go.
fine.
I just
I'm
love how
fine.
excitable your dice roller is.
Oh my goodness.
We're playing a game.
I love
We're
that.
playing a game, guys.
That's one seriously
Um,
magic six-sided dice for it to give
Yeah,
you.
holy shit, yeah. I don't know if I get more stunt points on that.
On the
That
lightning
roll.
attack?
No, this isn't a lightning attack. This is a mage ability. When I use my arcane lance, if I roll stunt points, I can spend 3 stunt points to cast another spell that costs 3 mana or less.
Oh, I don't know.
And
On
whenever
lightning
I-
attack, it specifies that you can't.
Yeah, like usually stunt with the stunts, you can only do 1 stunt point thing each. I'll let Alice decide that one. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
I'll
not that
probably
it's a-
go 1 stunt point each, because otherwise if people keep going, it's gonna...
Yeah, yeah.
run.
No worries. Yeah, so I will cast Heroic Offense on Kahal. You have a +1 bonus to strength now.
Yay.
Yeah, so you just feel a hand, like, Kahal, you just feel like a hand, Cecilia's hand, like, on your shoulder, and you get this, like, strength flowing through you for a bit. Hello! It has to be a touch spell, I'll move back!
Honestly, it looks like you're just like, what?
You're literally there, like, hanging onto a stalactite.
Like, what Nah, I think you feel like a tap with the staff, and then she like scoots back as well. She knows to stay out, but she has to touch people with the spells. Apparently, it doesn't
Stop
work
it.
like the game where I can just kind of like shoot it at you. That would happen. But yeah, so you just feel a baff on the back of the shoulder, and she's already
Okay.
scooted back. But yeah,
I
it
love your
takes-
shoot it at you mime as well. That was top quality content right there.
But yeah, so it's taken 7 damage
Another
from the
7
arcane
damage.
lance.
Okay.
And I've you have a +1 to strength until the end of the encounter.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Arielva, you've just seen all of this. What are you doing? Whereabouts are you in this room right now?
With
see
all this
one duck.
chaos going on.
A lot.
You've seen Dylan duck behind a rock. You have seen Kahal get almost smashed across the room. However, stand up very, very quickly and just pause, like slice up this creature's like face and just damage the helmet. And Cecilia just doing Cecilia stuff.
Well, Ariava is going to run in to try and make sure that Cecilia isn't going to die doing Cecilia stuff. And is going to cast Flame Blast.
Yes.
So gouts of blazing fire are going to erupt from my like outstretched hands, and it's gonna burn nearby targets up to 8 yards long and 2 yards wide.
Okay, awesome. So does that need a roll for that? It's like roll
Looks
the-
like it doesn't. It just
Okay.
says anyone hit by the blast. They have to targets that make a successful dexterity test.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go.
Okay, so what dexterity do I have to?
We have to spend a little minute though trying to
Acrobatics.
get the cone in the right place so that it doesn't hit
Yeah,
any
you
of the
have to
party
just go.
members.
Hang on. Hang on.
Pause it.
Oh no,
Okay.
it's a sensitive mouse.
And then you
There,
give up
there.
after a while and just turn friendly fire off.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was an option. God damn it.
Okay. Could
I
you,
always play on easy mode.
What is the dexterity I've got to beat as this creature?
The dexterity you have to beat is my spell power only. Okay, so my spell power. Has to get a 13.
A 13. Okay. No, it hits it. Please roll damage for me.
Ooh! 1d. Oh wait, 2d6 plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That will be a nice 9.
Ooh, okay. Now this creature's starting to look pretty bad as it's sort of like it's just been hit by these two sort of blasts, both with a blade and with magic, as then this fire sort of you see and turn Ariava open palm as this fire just sort of blasts from her palms, licking all the way up this creature as it screeches, and it starts to pound its fists into the ground as if it's starting to panic. And it looks like it's about to charge. Dylan, what are you doing behind your little rock?
Well, I'm going to dive out from behind the rock to do a backstab, which gives me +2 to attack and plus 1d6 damage.
Okay.
So here comes my attack roll, and I'm trying to desperately quickly look up because I've got like some skills in dual weapon style. But I just need to. I think I might have hit it.
I think so.
Holy shit.
Ooh, wow.
You know, I think that's 3 dragon die.
Got 6 stump points. Have fun.
Yeah.
You don't need a boat.
Okay.
I don't need my boat comes out of nowhere, just crashing through the wall.
It's one of the like Kingdom Hearts 3 attraction rides that just like blasts out of nowhere.
Okay, so first of all, let's roll some damage, shall we?
Oh my gosh.
So there's 7 points of damage just straight off the bat.
Okay.
Then heck, let's throw in another 1d6 of damage for a mighty blow. We'll make it a mighty blow. Why not? There's another 4. That's 11. I'll lightning attack with my offhand weapon, and throw another attack in. Does that still count as a backstab?
I don't think it does because it definitely knows you're there now.
Fair. Does a 13 hit?
Yes.
Cool. Cool. There's another 6 points of damage from my dagger. Let's see. 3, 2. I've got 1 point left. I will make a perception test to make sure I am not missing anything else going on around. Using the stay aware feat.
Okay. You are very perceptive and you realize you've killed this thing. How would you like to do it? How would you like to do it? Describe. Yeah, I was going to say, describe the whole scene as you destroy this creature.
Wow.
Actually, like, this thing is jam right now.
Oh, I jump out from behind this thing and I like start stabbing, and I'm like still stabbing whilst I'm like looking around the room like, is there anything else like going on? Like, you say this thing's tall, right? Just sort of like climbing its back
big,
with dagger
yeah.
and sword, like.
Okay, and the 3 of you see this as Dylan effectively climbs up this creature with these blades, and at the last second does that slow-mo jump into the air. Both blades up in hand and coming piercing straight down into the shoulders, almost crossing the blades through the neck and the shoulders of this creature. And you see it let out, almost like it starts off as a whine and then this gurgled roar as this blood, so this black sort of blood spurts out of its mouth and it lolls sideways, crashing into one of the stalactites. As Dylan is still on the back, it comes to a crashing halt just in front of Kahal. You are officially out of combat.
I look to Kahal, deadpan serious. Coast is clear.
I noticed. I'm just gonna put the helmet like almost like hold it like a staff kind of thing like on the ground. Told you we'd hear it coming.
Sorry?
Yeah, I think immediately. Oh, sorry. Yeah, they said told you would hear it coming, but yeah. Immediately, Cecilia, almost like a mother who has just seen their child, like she is over you guys, and it's like, did you get any of the blood on you? We have to get rid of it.
Dylan looks down at his body as he's been climbing this thing and like is just covered in blood. Like, Is it
Looks
going to
pretty
be a?
kicked.
Is it going to be a problem?
You recall what I showed you in the infirmary?
Oh, the people.
Well, if we-
yeah, it was pretty horrible.
Yes, if we do. Yes, if we don't get that blood off of you, you become one of them. And she's going through her bag and getting all these cleaning supplies, stuff.
Oh.
As I said, these creatures are like a disease.
Oh.
Well thought.
Dylan starts
And-
to remove his clothing. Their clothing.
Yeah, Cecilia's a medic. She's fucking used to the shit. She's not perturbed at all. And helps Dylan get cleaned up, and then looks at Kahal. Is like, end of you.
I don't really know how much I've gotten on me because it was just kind of like at the end. I definitely on the weapon and maybe a bit, but I don't think it was like a big splash or anything.
Yeah. Like, well, clean your weapons and make sure you clean your weapon. And do you still have any like wounds on you? Like, are you missing any hit points?
Yes.
Yes, I will. What was the wound like? Was it like an open gash, or is it just like knocked back and forth? I didn't quite catch that part. Essentially, I don't want any open wounds.
No, I think it was more of like some very bruised ribs kind of thing.
It basically
Like a
slammed
bap.
Kahal into the stomach, like in the stomach and the sort of the lower ribs and things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yes.
Yeah.
Just look to Kahal. Like, make sure you clean your weapon thoroughly.
Yeah. Set about doing that.
Yeah. I'll look to Ariava and see that there's no blood or anything because Ariava stayed back a fair bit. Kind of give a nod, just like, very well done, all of you.
Got you covered, boss.
Stand in this
Oh.
cavern with this huge creature.
Did we hear any more?
Yeah.
You don't hear anything running towards you, but you do hear fighting. It sort of created this huge hole in this tunnel, and you can hear fighting and the clash of metal very, very easily. And looking at your map, you can guess you're coming up to the outer walls.
Yeah. Just nods like, I think that may be the one we're looking for. We should hurry. Yeah. I'm guessing that tunnel that they just dug is completely dark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send that wisp up.
Yeah. You
Again.
send the wisp up and you can see almost some sort of set of staircase. And it seems to be running up to the top, and you can hear that clash of swords. And as you do, you can see this tiny sort of breakthrough in a wall where there's this sunlight coming through. And where the sunlight is sort of lighting up part of your pathway, you can hear the yelling, you can hear the screaming, and the battle that's taking place.
Alrighty, well, if we're all set, we should hurry. No injuries? Nothing? We can still fight?
Mhm.
No, I'm not injured.
Alrighty.
Covered in damn blood.
I'll, I've
Improvement on the outfit.
Black
I'm
does
not
rather
wearing
suit
an
you.
outfit.
Precisely.
Yeah, Cecilia's
Oh.
given Dylan. Oh well. +3 on that.
One bottle
Yeah,
of wine is all it took.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh.
Please tell me.
There's a war happening, people.
Please tell me you're in more than just a hat. as chat is asking.
I mean,
I could just see the camera shot now with the two legs framing either side, and you can just see the other three.
Just
Sorry, I'm holding the wine glass.
Hello.
Improvement.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. This is a serious Dragon Age campaign, guys.
So,
To be fair, they
Something
told
on
us
before we
Curse
go
of
there.
Strahd was serious, and we licked a sarcophagus, so yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And we fingered people to death.
We
and-
did.
God.
Yeah, so-
Pimp slap Strahd.
Yeah, that was an amazing backhand on a nat 20.
Yeah, already.
Cecilia.
I go outside. Oh wait, no, sorry.
I leave!
No, already. Yes.
My clothes are clean. Can I have them back, or is that it? Are they now tainted forever?
I thought that you were cleaning them, so I thought I like giving you the stuff for it. But
Oh,
if that's the case, I'd say that let's say Cecilia knows how to get rid of the dust bubble without getting tainted herself. So yeah, she'll give you the clothes back.
Magic.
I don't have a literal spell for cleaning, but can I say that I have prestidigitation, please?
If that, maybe we'll say there's a pool of water somewhere.
Thank you.
being against the rock.
Okay, so I'm wearing clothes and now I'm soggy. Got it.
Yeah, it's a little
Indeed.
damp.
You can. Are you making your way up to the top of these steps towards the daylight?
Cautiously, yes.
Yes.
Okay. If anyone wants to do it cautiously, could you make a perception check, please?
Yeah, I got the wisp in front of us as well. Alrighty, I'm gonna see if the dice are still excited.
I am intrigued.
No, the behaves now.
No.
Yeah. Well,
know.
roll 20.
Oh.
What was that? Why were you so keen?
I really wanted you to succeed. Roll 20 is here for you.
Yeah, thank you, roll
Yeah,
20.
just
I'm glad
It's
some
never
you.
for me.
Thank you, roll 20.
It literally
One
gave
sec,
me
I'm
4
gonna
nat
test-
ones yesterday.
Oh my god, I'm gonna test something. I think I know what happened. Yeah, I accidentally ticked a box of some kind. Okay, I got an 11 on that
Oh, I'm very excited die.
one.
Dang.
Thanks, roll 20. Alrighty.
Like multiply it or something?
You can
I
think it's an
Oh.
internal explosion.
yeah.
You can all approach up these stairs fairly carefully. You all sort of compare up into this light, and it's almost like it's broke through on one of the ramparts, as it looks to be something has either been thrown into this, or something has exploded. And as you can hear that clashing as you come out into the into this daylight, you see the ramparts sort of just ahead of you, and some either side to you. You can see ladders have been thrown up on the walls, and you can see these creatures, these dark spawn, sort of moving rather manically towards these people fighting on the side of the barriers. And you can see these huge creatures off in the distance, these ogres, as they come charging through, almost plowing through some of the walls, just taking out with the rock, or the rock almost exploding at the sides. You can hear someone yell, "Captain! Captain Zarus!" And you see this woman stood on the other side of the battlement. She's got her very dark hair in this very messy plait that seems to have almost fallen out right now. And you see her swing round and completely decapitate one of these dark spawn as it falls to the ground. This blood streaked across her, this very, very, which you can guess was probably once very shiny armor, this mustard yellow tunic underneath, these huge gloves holding this huge broadswords. You haven't seen one this big before, but it is caked and dripping in this black blood, and she seems to leave a trail of these dark spawn behind her. And you can see two men fighting by her side, along with the other people. Archers are just firing into this battlefield, into this crowd. What would you like to do?
Does anyone look clearly like, does the captain all that look okay? Like, are they injured, like badly injured or anything? Or?
You can see she seems to be lumbering a leg around, but it doesn't seem to be stopping her.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I just kind of looked at the party. It's like, well, no time for a break. So, can I? I'd like to rush in and I'll heal her. Like,
Yeah, if you want to
like
rush
right
in.
away.
Can
Yeah.
you, in fact, no, we won't do it like that. We'll just, you can rush in and roll for the heal for me, please.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to roll the casting roll as well? Just in case.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard for me to fail, but I can still get stump points for it. So, yeah. So I'm spending 3 mana minus 1 because I'm creation mage, and I heal 3d6 plus 4. There we go.
Yeah, you can see, and you sort of reach out, and you can this magic, this energy starts swirling around her leg, and you can see this wound where the material of her trouser has sort of come away, and this huge gash of this blood dripping down the side of her leg. This looks painful. It looks like where it's been tied up, maybe with some random material they've managed to find. You see it starting to close up, and almost like a burn starting to seal it. And you can hear her yell out in pain, but look down at her leg. And this alerts her attention to you as she looks over at you in this grey warden armor. And she points at you. It's like, Warden! And starts trying to make her way through this crowd of Darkspawn. Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
Seeing that she's trying to make her way here, I'd also rush up and just try and help clear the path.
Okay. You can start to chop through these people. And and when I say people, I mean Darkspawn, because that's... You start chopping through these Darkspawn, and Ariava, you can cast whatever you want to cast towards this, helping to clear this path. And Dylan, are you ducking and hiding, or are you slashing as well?
I'll be going in Kahal's wake, I guess. And
sort of pick them off as they move
yeah,
past.
just throwing out the occasional slash.
Okay. And you sort of work your way through, and this woman, this captain, caked in blood, and you can see a cut all the way down the side of her face that looks pretty fresh as well, but very much like her leg has started to heal up. So, who sent you?
Ronan.
Ronan.
And we need to get out of here, and we need to get out of here now. That thing is coming.
It's clear.
Okay, the way is clear. Suggested back to where
Okay. We need to move, and we need to move now. And almost as she says that, you can hear from somewhere this roar from overhead, almost like a screech of this creature. And this beating of wings as overhead flies this archdemon. This huge dragon-like creature, which doesn't look like any of the dragons out of the storybooks or anything that is native to any of the other areas. This thing is made up of jagged, sharp, almost like spines on some effects. Some look like maybe they were scales at one point, but otherwise it's almost like it's built up across it like armor. The head itself is almost like a skull with deep set eyes as it sort of soars overhead of you. And it comes, I need you all to make a dexterity check as it comes to a crash landing in front of you.
All right.
Great.
Oh my.
Woo!
I need to stay alive. Can I use my auto success on this one? Just straight up.
Yes, you
Roll.
can use your
Yeah.
auto success.
I need to succeed on this
same.
one. I'm
say?
Y'all can't.
Yeah, the two
I
mages.
can't die. Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Two glass cannons.
Yeah.
You can both sort of duck out of the way and move. However,
I might use an advantage as well.
okay, roll for advantage with me then, please.
I want to see
Lower
what
than
happens.
17. You come crashing. This thing comes crashing down. And Cecilia and Ariava, this woman sort of pushes you out of the way, but you manage to slide behind one of the other parts of the battlements. Dylan, you see this thing coming, and you see this huge claw coming to land right by you. And after, you have to literally run out of its distance as it starts crashing down these huge claws as this archdemon, almost very just clumsily taking out the wall, and it's ripping it apart as you have to jump in between whatever it can get through. Kahal, you see as Dylan is moving, one of these bits of rock, as you turn and throw, it is crashed into you. And you are just going to take 1d6 damage. Take 4 damage as this rock catches you. It sort of hits your shoulder. It doesn't do any like permanent damage or anything, but it catches you, knocking you to the floor. And as it does, you fall to this floor and you push yourself up and you roll round and see this archdemon walking over you.
Fun.
Could you all roll initiative for me, please?
Oh yeah!
Wait, I think I'm in melee range, guys.
Hey.
Woo!
So
Yeah.
good. Everyone take the hits first, and then I can clean up.
Okay, so let's do it. It starts with Dylan.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Whereabouts is Ariava in this? Sorry,
Oh, I got a 6.
a 6. Okay, so the two mages are on a 6. I'll let you decide where who
Yeah.
wants to go first. So
Do you want to go first? Because I'm cleaning up crew, so.
Yeah.
No, that's
sure.
on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. ET.
and
You're welcome for the free
well,
advertising.
this creature, where does it roll? Where's it? Why can't I see it? Oh, there it is.
I think Ariava is going to throw up her rock armor
Perfect. Yeah, no, you can do that.
and kind of try to stand in the way a bit of Cecilia.
Yeah, you can use yourself as like a human shield.
A
Effectively.
human rock shield.
Once again, it is Dylan's turn first.
Okay, so this thing's big, right?
Yes, it is very big.
And Kahal is under it.
Kahal is currently under it as this thing is chasing you with the claws that's reaching out.
Uh-huh. I don't like this. I'm going to bravely run.
Healthy response.
Roll me a dexterity to try avoid the things coming at you.
Nyeh.
Raise
With
the
stuns
rock
if
and
you want
ran
them.
away. So you are like hop skipping and jumping over these bodies, these rocks that are flying and ducking as this huge boulder comes soaring over you, and you can crash and sort of tuck and roll behind one of these boulders if that's what you want to do.
Hell yeah. If I can throw some sneak in there and hide, more's the
Okay.
merrier.
It is Kahal's turn, and Kahal, this huge belly of this creature, these huge, almost bat-like wings, these big holes in. It's almost like a reddish maroon wine color of this creature, this snarl, and this huge jawline that is just passing over you.
Well, I think I have a pretty clear shot.
If you miss, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
I would be so sad. But like, what I want to do is go for like the inside of one of its legs,
Okay.
like in that kind of like crease, and I don't know, draw its attention away from like this opening that everyone else is heading to, at least. Or maybe confuse it, who knows? So, yeah, let's, you know what? Let's use an advantage. That's always fun. What number am I looking at? This one. That's 6. Boop. And
That does hit. Second
Cool.
one does hit.
I'm glad I used advantage.
It just hits.
Just hits. Okay, so yeah, no, it'll just be a regular old swipe with this halberd, which I like use to help me get up even, and it will do. This is a new encounter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. So you like as you're going up, you're sort of laying on the floor, and you can pull this halberd up, and sort of like as it's moving, start cutting into the belly of this creature with these huge muscular arms. And as you do this, it is the archdemon's turn, and you have now attracted its attention. And it sort of pauses. You see these huge, hefty arms turn around, and this huge jaw comes down, and it's going to try to bite you.
How many of us can say that we've been bitten by an archdemon
That's the
in the
spirit.
century?
Oh no! Why does this happen every time I hit Kahal? I don't want to kill Kahal.
This isn't ideal. This is not an ideal situation, y'all.
It's not ideal for anybody.
Okay,
I'm just here.
this uses a lethal blow.
Oh boy.
So hang on, that's 2d6 extra. So I will add that on to the actual damage. Oh no. Cecilia, I hope you're ready.
I knew what I was getting into, man.
Oh my. Okay. Hang on. Oh, where's that? You take 34 damage, please. Are you
It's only
alive?
half. It's only half.
Beefy boy.
Okay. As the rest of you see Kahal sort of slice up with this halberd, and as it does, this archdemon swerves round, almost with like a cry out, and grabs hold of Kahal's legs, and just Kahal, you can feel those teeth sinking into your legs, and this is painful as it picks it up, and it just throws you with its head and casts you aside. And yes, that is 34 damage.
Hi, Scrat. Welcome back, Scrat.
Welcome back. I'm not dead.
It is Ariaba's go.
Ooh. All right. Ariaba isn't really sure what to do at the moment. Whereabouts is Cecilia positioned?
I think I'm behind you. I think you came.
You're still
Front of
behind me.
Yeah. I haven't made yet, so.
Would it be possible to hold an action?
Yeah,
wait,
no,
no.
I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can do that in this.
Okay.
If not, we'll do it anyway. So you can hold an action.
Fuck the rules!
We're here for fun. Fun, damn it.
Story.
Yes, you can hold your action as you're preparing. We'll say you're on this, focusing on this mage armor as it's slowly building up around you, sort of almost like it's clamping. It's almost, it looks like you're drawing it from the rubble around you as it comes up.
Like a magnet.
Cecilia, it is your turn, and you've just seen Kahal be flung across the battlements.
Yeah, I'm going to run within range of Kahal to cast heal again. I'm using 3 minus 1 mana points to do 3d6 healing. And I'd like to use an advantage on the casting roll to see if I can get any stomp points for it. Nah, no stomp points on that one. That's all good. But yeah, I still do the heals. 3d6 plus 4. We heal 14.
Okay. Dylan, we're back up to the top of the round. You have just seen Kahal grabbed in the jaws of this huge archdemon creature and flung across the battlements, crashing. These jaws have sunk deep into Kahal's legs, and this looks bad. This doesn't look good. You can see the captain looks still fairly injured, but is swinging at this creature, this archdemon, that is almost struggling to stay on these battlements as it starts to fall. You hear a cry above, and you can hear almost like a war cry, like this yell, as this screech of these griffins with these grey wardens riding them come diving down. What would you like to do? You can run.
I already ran once, and I'm currently hidden. How far are we from, like, this cave thing? And is the cave, like, diametrically opposite from Kahal? Would it look a lot like I'm abandoning Kahal if I was to...
a lot like you're abandoning Kahal. However, it's no longer focused on Kahal. So if you want to get to Kahal, it's currently focused on the captain.
Oh, I'm gonna be an idiot hero. I'm gonna jump on the thing.
You're gonna jump on the archdemon?
Yeah, like, I hid, right? So, like... Backstab.
Okay. Roll a dexterity for me. Just, you'll get on there because it's distracted, but I want to see how and where you currently got on this thing.
Okay, will this act as my, like, attack roll as well?
No. Attack roll is separate. Okay, you get on there. Where are you? Sort of like grab the leg and start managing to climb your way up onto this archdemon's back.
Yeah, preferably somewhere where it's difficult for its, like, head and claws to get. So maybe, like, I don't know.
The base of its neck, then, like, right back there.
Yeah, sure, that'll be fine. I'll jump on there. And I'd like to come in with my attack. And I realize that my dual weapon style gets me an extra +1 to attack. So I'm going to jump on the thing.
Yeah, that is a hit. And that is an exploding dragon die. Not that the dragon explodes, but that the die, yeah.
Do we win?
Just to
the dragon explodes, so we win.
Oh, that was easy. Come on, guys, let's go home. Please roll the damage for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's piss poor damage.
Yeah, it really is. You reach out with this blade of yours, but you do manage to dig right into like that joint in between the shoulder blade and the neck of this creature, and it throws back its head and screeches as you do so. Is there anything else you would like to do?
No, just hold on tight. Maybe pray some.
Okay. As this happens, it is the archdemon's turn. It has been attacked on the belly, it's been attacked on the back. It takes off. it pushes
I don't know what you expected.
itself off the battlements, almost staggering as it is breaking as it goes, as it pushes up into the sky. And literally, as Ariaba just did, you can all watch as Dylan is like on the back of this thing being sent upwards into the sky. Kahal, you can see this too as this thing takes off, almost like sweeping past you, so that huge shadow come up over you. Two of the wardens land. You hear Dasha straight away, and you can see Ethan as they come crash landing. It's like, was that Dylan? Like, as he sort of as she looks over to all of you, and then she sees it's like, oh, Captain, like, and sort of starts running over to this this woman, and who starts barking orders. And you see Ethan look to two of you, and then Ronan comes swooping down on this griffin. On our backs now. And he sort of turns to look to all of you.
Like, coughing from HP whiplash. Also being thrown against a wall.
You're sort of being grabbed by Ethan.
Yeah.
He's helping you up. He's sort of got like his arms, like he's forcing your arms over his shoulders, and he's almost dragging you to this griffin. And Ariava, you can see Taka just sort of looking at you and gesturing quickly to come over to this griffin. As you look either side, and all of this dark spawn is starting to flood over the battlements.
Yeah, she's gonna book it. Rock armor and everything. This is making me think immediately of my hockey goalie days, where I'm like padded in all the gear, and you're sort of like trying to run as fast as everybody else, but you're, yeah, that's what Ariapa's doing right now.
Okay. Yeah, you can reach this griffin. You can reach Taka, who sort of almost heaves you up. You don't even get a second to get on. She puts you effectively straight in the driving seat, as you call it, and you feel these legs, almost like springs on this griffin, lurch you all into the air. Kahal, Ethan has grabbed you and has sort of put you as safely as he can over this griffin. You even see that he's strapped you in with like this belt, trying to keep you hooked on. And Cecilia, you've got Dasha, who is pointing towards her griffin, like, shall we?
Yeah, there's no hesitation. Cecilia goes straight to this griffin and she just yells to Dasha, like, be my second set of eyes. If you see anyone get hit, take me to them.
Of course. And she just sort of salutes and she takes off as well.
Kind of looking up, like, watching this thing fly away, and just like, what about?
Oh, we're going to go get him. And she sort of keeps going, oh my goodness, this was and it launches off into the air. Dylan, sorry, I'm having my own sky battle right now. Dylan, you feel this rush of air as you're just on a vertical ride up. The only thing holding you on right now is this blade. I will, however, give you a free attack as it's sliding, like your blade is sliding through it. So if you want to roll damage for me.
Sure thing. Wow. Wow. Hey, you want to roll all 6s on an attack roll? Well, GG, Scrat. Now you get all 1s for damage for the rest of the game.
Oh, it's so hard. Yeah, it slips down a bit and you do carve through it, but it makes you jolt as if you feel like you're starting to lose your balance. For the rest of you, you see these other wardens sort of reaching up higher and higher. There is magic sort of flying about in the sky here. There are arrows being leashed. And there seem to be some of these arrows seem very barbed with almost like ropes and things on them. They're trying to take this thing down. And after dinner, it is Kahal's turn. Can you do anything? You do technically have control over a griffin, as Ethan has you met.
From here? I mean, I could. Okay. Are we also chasing the archdemon?
You can see all of the
Or are we
griffins
leaving?
are now heading straight up towards this archdemon. This archdemon, when you first saw it, already looked pretty heavily damaged from the battle. So it doesn't look particularly healthy, but it's still going.
Okay. Well, if I can lever myself into a firing position, I do have a short bow that I can try and fire at it.
Yeah,
And
Ethan is effectively holding on to you as well as steering this, so you can easily use both of your hands.
Okay.
To let loose an arrow.
Alright. Pull out an arrow. And yeah, I mean, is it within range? The long range is 32 yards.
Yeah, they're closing in pretty fast.
Okay, it's well enough.
It's only the mages that are really keeping their distance and firing towards it.
Okay, then what's hilarious is I actually have more. No, actually, I don't. It's the same. I thought it was a higher bonus to hit.
Yeah, just hits in this
Nice.
state as this thing. And like Ethan, you can see sort of gets you up higher and higher and higher, almost going alongside this archdemon before ducking underneath to its underbelly
I get some
at
points.
the last minute. So please roll damage.
Okay. Let me see what I can use with that. I can only make like one attack on a turn, right?
Yes. Unless it's specifically.
I don't have
says
enough
stun
stun points for it, but
Okay.
No, that won't work. Okay, well, at least I can make it a mighty blow. That works. So that means it is. Where does it close? Yes. A big 9.
You fire this arrow straight into the belly of this creature, and you can fire one or two as they sort of go in. Ethan sort of sweeping, almost maneuvering you between the legs and the tail of this creature as it swings out. Ariava, what would you like to do as you are now in full control of this griffin?
Ariava would like to. Are we all? So everybody's in the process of fleeing, correct?
No, they're heading towards the archdemon.
Heading towards the archdemon. Okay, yes, perfect. Am I within 10 yards of everyone?
Yes, you're in 10 yards within Cecilia, Kahal, but not Dylan.
Okay. If I wait. Hang on. Sorry. Just who all of us are mages except for Kahal, correct? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
2 of you.
Oh, okay. So
I had more stun points than I thought. Oh well.
2 of us
Okay.
in the spell at least.
I'm a roguey
got
rogue.
you.
Roguey rogue.
All right. Well, because Kahal's within. Oh wait, can I move to possibly be within 10 yards within both Dylan and Kahal?
If you do, you move away from Cecilia.
That's fine.
Okay.
So
It's a Tavinta.
Bye.
Sorry. I only
She's
like
used
my
to it.
Feraldons. No. Yeah, I would like to get within 10 yards of both Dylan and Kahal, and I would like to cast flaming weapons.
Ooh.
So So
And-
yeah, Carl, your all of your arrows, including, and then your halberd suddenly just
Catch fire.
like at the end, this blade catches flame, and Dylan as well. You're there holding onto this blade as it also starts to burst into flame.
Oh, oh, this is my only handhold. Okay.
But yeah, now you each do a additional 1d6 damage with each successful attack.
Nice.
Hey.
Okay. And it is Cecilia's turn.
Alrighty. I have two things that I would want to try. One, are there I think we'd be out of range of it because like they're like down in the battlefields below. There were still like ogres and stuff throwing boulders or whatever. But we are like way in the air right now.
Oh
right?
yeah. You're
yeah,
away
way
from
out of that. Yeah. Can I activate my spirit heal mode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, so I have to do a target number 14 magic roll. Using spirit, but I don't have that one. This is a minor action. Yeah, okay, let's proceed. Yeah, so now I have access to more spells. As I'm not sure what this will look like because I haven't really explained anything to do with spirit healing yet because I don't know how much of that has happened yet. But I also have the mode written down and it'll be useful. But yeah, I think this like magic from the end of her staff glows like a really bright blue, and that kind of like traverses down to her, and like so she's got like this kind of faint glow about her as whoever is around us who needs it, so Kahal and I guess any of the wardens who have taken damage as well. I'm gonna cast group heal. I don't know how many people I can target, but I think I might. Let's have a look. But yeah, I like as many of the wardens who are like flying in to attack this thing as fresh as possible.
Okay.
Group heal. A number of subjects equal to twice your magic, all of whom must be within 10 yards of you. So I can target 8 people within 10 yards of me.
Oh gosh, yeah, you can do that at least, yeah.
And that will take up 8 mana, because it's usually 9, because I'm going to do 3d6. Alrighty. But I have to do a casting roll first. Target number 15. I'm going to use advantage on this. Okay, because I got this. And I get stun points. I get stun points as well. I'm like flipping through this book like a madman. Like, what do I do? Okay, so first I'll do the healing roll. So 16 points to Kahal especially, but anyone else in my area that needs healing, like anyone who has been in the battle prior.
Yeah, you can see the
we'll get that.
at the back of the wardens. You can actually see Dasha herself. There's like a wound on the side of her face that's slowly starting to heal up, and some of the other wardens around.
Alrighty. I'm going to use the spell stunt mana shield, so I have a +2 to defense.
Okay.
Until the beginning of my next turn. And I'm going to use skillful casting as well, so I reduce the mana cost by another 1.
Okay, perfect.
So, yeah. And that's me done.
Dylan, technically you can have sneak attack here.
Then yes, I will. Where are my friends?
You can see them coming up around you, like they're surrounding the archdemon, all of these griffins.
And how high up are we now?
You're pretty high up.
Okay. Okay, we got this. I'm gonna attack the demon, but I'm gonna attack it in the sense that I rip the blade out and jump away.
Okay. So roll an attack to damage, and then roll a dex to jump. That definitely hits it.
With the sneak attack
I bet you wish
and
that was the jump.
the sneak attack and the flaming weapons, I should do even more damage. And I actually managed to get on the damage table this time. Yeah, and then jumping away. I mean, if there happens to be a griffin beneath me, great. Otherwise, I'm just gonna try and make myself big and hope someone catches me on the way down.
You just flying squirrel it. Okay, so how this works is that as you jump, you dig that flaming blade in its neck and you drag it down its back. And this already very damaged looking archdemon screeches. So much so, those of you on the griffins almost have to clamp your hands over your ears as this thing sort of just yells into the thing. It makes most of the darkspawn on the ground look up as Dylan comes dragging this fiery blade down this creature's back. And just as he does, the blade comes through. And as this archdemon starts to panic and swirl, it strikes him with his tail and sends him soaring into the air. The closest person on a griffin right now is Ariava. So, one, Dylan, you have rolled well on dexterity. Ariava, if you could roll like you did earlier when controlling the griffin.
Okay.
Save me! I gave you wine.
13. Dylan, you're dropping. This is going far, like spiraling through the air. And Ariava, as Ariava, you see this happening as he sort of misses from where you're going. And you push forward, and this griffin dives. And it dives fast towards the ground. Dylan, the ground is rushing up real quick right now. And you can see this archdemon dropping out of the sky as it is falling towards the ground. These griffins are all diving in the direction. Some of them are splitting off, quickly getting away. Ariava, how would you like to catch Dylan?
With difficulty?
Like, is it your hand? Is it the griffin itself grabbing hold of Dylan?
It's gonna be the griffin itself. I don't think Ariava has a bit of real muscle in her body to fully catch him. If anything, she'd be asking anybody to lay off any food at all as soon as she caught them. So yeah, she'll see if she can actually get him to land kind of on the back behind her. If possible.
Yeah, you sort of, as you dive, you can feel like your hair is whooshing, almost like standing on end, as it comes tearing downwards, and you feel that gush of wind. You've got Taka on the back, almost like clinging onto the back for dear life themselves, because they don't normally do this with their griffin. But this griffin seems to be doing exactly as you say, as you dive down. And Dylan, you feel two huge paw-like claw-type things of this griffin, these talons.
I'll take them.
Almost dig. It doesn't hurt, it stings a little bit, it's not causing any damage. Dig into your back, it's almost like gentle. And Taka reaches down, and Ariava, as you pull up, skimming over these darkspawn on the battlements as it happens, Dylan kind of hanging from the bottom, where Taka sort of takes a roll movement to grab him, pulling him up onto this griffin. And you skim up, away from these darkspawn, backing up. And all of you sit in the air on these griffins as you watch this huge archdemon fall. Sort of twists and turns and just crashes into this army of darkspawn. And it lies motionless, and there's almost like a cry out from the entire army as you see this creature start to wither, become bone, as if it's dissolving itself, very, very quickly reducing into the army itself. You hear all legions, Fereldans, everything cheering on the battlements. And there is a very almost deadly silence that falls over the darkspawn before where this archdemon once lay. A darkspawn walks forward. This huge skull remains there, almost like it's disintegrating with the breeze. And this strange almost like green wisp, very much like Cecilia's wisp that led earlier, but this is a dark mixture of black and green. This dark spawn throws its arms open and takes it into its chest. And for a moment, it bulges. It starts to break. This dark spawn starts to warp and move and twist as huge wings burst out of its back, and it starts to grow into a new archdemon. And that's where we'll leave Dragon Age this week.
Oh. That was a weird combination of tense combat and just absolute bullshit on our part. Huh?
Right? Dragon Age.
Dragon Age.
That is literally what Dragon Age is.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
we did it.
Tense fantasy with a bit of comic relief here and there.
Yeah.
Dragon
Dragon
Age.
Hey, now I know I saw a raid cry earlier. There it is.
Yeah.
Is that
It's-
stalactite? There we go.
A sexual stalactite.
Is that stalactite in the corner, or are you just happy to see me?
Excellent.
That's gonna be our raid cry. We're gonna go on a raid. We have
Oh,
credits to close out. Also, the bot is spamming a bunch of things at you now. I'm gonna eventually stop punching all the sharp parts on my microphone. I didn't even know my microphone had sharp parts, but I keep finding them. Check out all the links that the bot is currently showing you, including the places you can find us online, communicate with us, get involved, and all that good stuff. Go and check out all of these wonderful people's places and things and all the things that they do online, because they're all fantastic. And check out Tabletop Loot, who we have a discount code with, Mage Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing, who are our main sponsors.
Words.
Words. We are going on a raid. We also have credits. We'll be back next week with more Rise of the Wardens. Until then, keep on evoking emotions, and we'll see you later on. Bye.